So I may have went to a Taylor Swift concert. Don't judge. What's happening, webheads? Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. I'm your host, Mike Spider Slayer, usually making decisions or helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And today I'm talking about my Taylor Swift experience. That's right, guys. Normally you would see like after the poll or top 10 comic book covers, being pulled for the week. But over the weekend, I went to Miami and I went to go see Taylor Swift. Now, if you are thinking that I went by myself, obviously you can see there was people next to me. I did not go by myself, right? I went with my daughter, her best friend, and my wife over the weekend. And you saw a few people there in the video clips. And next to me was my daughter's best friend. Then it was my daughter, and then it was my wife. Okay? And this Taylor Swift experience is something that I could not believe, and that's why I wanted to share this with you on the mic today, because this is something that you can't imagine until you're actually there, what it's like. And say what you want about Taylor Swift. I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan myself. I've heard her music on the radio to death. It's nothing but Taylor Swift these days, but when you go to one of these concerts, oh my God, it's an experience. So I'm going to share with you here kind of like the weekend in itself on what made it so special, not just the concert, right? So on Saturday night, I had to leave. I left on our way to actually drive there. That Saturday morning, I ran a tennis tournament, so I was already exhausted from there. And then we had to drive all the way to right outside of Miami, probably about 30 minutes away, to a town called Coral Springs, Florida, if you guys ever heard of it, right? And we stayed at the hotel that me and my wife actually worked at, okay? And that's where we met, which is kind of cool. And the original plan was never to book this hotel, but everything around there was booked, but there was rooms at this particular hotel. And how we met was I was the bellman and she was the front desk worker. And she went to college at USF and I lived there at the time. And we opened this hotel together, and that's how we met. So 25 years later, we're staying at this hotel with my kid and my kid's friend. So it was a really good experience to kind of go back there, actually drive around, re-look at everything that was around us when we were growing up, when we were young. We drove by my wife's house, and that in itself was an experience. It was just funny to stay at this hotel that we worked at, man, just how it changed and everything else. So great stuff there. That in itself was awesome, right? Now we want to talk about like the day of the concert. So my friend, my kid's friend, and they were all getting ready. They're all getting ready for, dressing up as Swifties and all this stuff. I had a 13 on my hand. I had like bracelets that my daughter made me. And then we wound up driving there, right? My wife did all this great research, and it was very smooth experience, right? We parked, we got in. But I kid you not, the line to get in for merch was like insane. It was about an hour and a half long, right? And it was like Disney World. It was like getting in line for a freaking ride, and you're waiting in line, you're going through, and you're like, are we almost there? Are we almost there? And finally, like, we're in the main room, right, of getting this merch, and they're playing Taylor Swift music, and everyone started singing the music inside. I'm like, oh my God, like we're already singing and the concert has not even happened yet. Like it's just insane, right? And so they're singing and then they get their merchandise, and like $275 later for a few shirts and stuff, we finally get out. Now the cool thing is that we stayed in a club level, right? and it was raining for a little bit of the concert, but we were under the awning at Hard Rock Stadium, so we never got wet. And at the club level, they have restaurants and stuff where you can just chill and relax and, grab a few drinks, and it was just really nice at that aspect, right? So then we get into the show and we start watching the show, and as you could see in the previous clips, that once the lights come out and Taylor Swift comes out, it is a whole other universe, a whole other world, right? It is one amazing spectacle of a show that this woman puts on. Listen, I respect who she is as an artist and the music that she creates. There's a special talent that's out there that can do what she has done over the years, where she's brought all these kids together and all the fans together and these friendship bracelets. And when that music comes on and every single person out there is singing those lyrics as loud as they possibly can, and you got these bracelets that light up and go with the music and all this other stuff, it was absolutely magical. And what made everything worthwhile was honestly the facial expressions, the emotions that my kid and her friend and even my wife were experiencing through that concert. They had so much joy, they were so happy, and it was just absolutely amazing. And listen, Taylor Swift is a great performer. She knows how to put on a show, and it was fun to watch. I mean, I had a great time there. Did I feel a little bit out of place? I'm not going to lie. I'm a 49-year-old man. The ratio of women to men there may have been 1 in 100. So I was looking for guys out there just saying, okay, who's there? Who's at the Taylor Swift show? I had this shirt that said, I'm spending a fortune at the moment. And you don't know how many compliments I got on this actual t-shirt. It was absolutely hilarious. So the show went on from about 7:45 to about 11:45. That's how long she performed for. And I kid you not, when I got out of this concert, I was deaf. I am actually still deaf. My ears are still recovering from this. They're still ringing. I could not believe it. But my God, what an experience and of a show. It's just great. And it's very true. Whatever's going on in this world today, right? Turmoil, disease, whatever it is you want to call it, war, music truly can bring every single person together, right? It's just for those 4 hours, you just forget about everything and you just have that one thing in common, and that you share. That is that music. And I absolutely loved it. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was the greatest thing. And, it was very, very tough to get tickets to begin with, right? Like, there were so many steps through Ticketmaster that I had to go through. We had to pre-register, then we had to get selected. We got selected, then we had to wait in a queue. We got tickets in this queue, and we wound up getting the tickets. We spent like $1,250 for these tickets for 4 of them, which is considered good when you get them through Ticketmaster. And the journey started through there. We waited 15 months to get to this point. So, yeah, like I said, may not be the biggest Taylor Swift fan. I've heard her music to death. I've even seen the show and TV and movie and stuff like that. But when you're there in person, it's a whole other experience. So, when it comes to comic books this week, I did not finish reading all my comics. I read a decent amount, and I still have this to read, which is Avengers Assemble. I still got Blood Hunters. I still got Miles Morales. I still got Action Comics. I got Spider-Man Reign, Star Wars. I got The Abyss, and I still got Violator. So I figure I put this together for you just to let you know the type of weekend that I had. I'll spend the rest of the day trying to read this stuff, and we'll get back on track on Wednesday for the new comic book day. So always, guys, Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know it's something different, maybe not for everybody, but it was a special moment in my life, something I will never forget. And yeah, and that's it. So guys, remember, as usual, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting. Always read your comics so we can have great comic conversation. I'll see you on New Comic Book Day, guys. Take care, and thanks for watching. Bye.